Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sapkal here. Let us learn about the oxytocin today. Oxytocin is a short neurooctapeptide. It is synthesized at the supraoptic and paraventricular nucleus of the hypothalamus. Then from there it is transported and released by the posterior pituitary in the blood circulation. Half-life of oxytocin is 3 to 4 minutes. And its action is degraded by the enzyme oxytocinase, and the action lasts for hardly 20 minutes. Refrigeration is required at 4 degrees centigrade. However, at room temperature, shelf life is of 3 months. Syntocinon is a synthetic preparation. It is devoid of antidiuretic and vasopressor effect. Mode of action: it has got indirect action on the decidua and amnion and chorion by releasing prostaglandin. It is effective. And direct action, it binds with the oxytocin receptors on the myometrial reticular cell membrane, where it activates the phospholipase enzyme and CAMP is formed, which causes increased levels of intracellular calcium, which induces normal uterine contractions with alternate relaxation. The law of polarity and fundal dominance is maintained with the uterine contraction, and expulsive force, which is required in labor, is also observed. Its action is augmented by estrogen through the oxytocin receptors. Uses of pitocin: to control the bleeding in cases of abortion, vesicular mole, as a component of oxytocin challenge test to induce uterine contractions, can be used for induction of labor, augmentation of labor, where we are interested in reducing the duration of labor less than 12 hours. It is used for the active management of third stage of labor, where it is given, it is first drug of choice. It is given within 1 to 3 minutes after the birth of the child. Control of atonic PPH in cases like twins, hydramnios, grand multipara, retained placenta and all. It is also used in puerperium to express out the milk from the engorged breast. Precautions: ideally, oxytocin should be infused with the oxytocin infusion pump. Dose is very less. 1 unit is required in 500 ml of RL or normal saline. It is infused at the rate of 15 drops per minute, so that the patient receives 2 milliunits per minute. So the dose is hardly 2 milliunits per minute. The trip is continued even after the delivery of the baby because there is risk of delayed PPH. There are chances of maternal hyponatremia, especially in PIH cases when 5% dextrose is used for the infusion. That is why normal saline or RL is preferred. Fluid retention and fluid overload is the risk. That's why limit the IV fluids maximum up to 1000 ml in 24 hours. Intake output chart should also be maintained. There are certain problems with the IV injection bolus. That's why it is not used in the injection form, IV injection bolus form. It causes transient fall in blood pressure. Due to sudden increase in the cardiac output, it can land up into CCF and myocardial infarction and ventricular extrasystoles. Hence, avoid it in the heart disease complicating pregnancy. Dose-related complications which are observed are neonatal jaundice and maternal water intoxication. Hence, avoid the dose more than 20 units in 24 hours and avoid the use of pitocin in premature labor. There is risk of fetal distress, fetal death, and birth asphyxia and meconium stain lacquer. Excess of oxytocin drip can cause relaxation of the vascular system and vasodilatation. Thus, there is risk of maternal hypotension. Hence, it is avoided in preeclampsia also. Alternatively, it can cause maternal hypertension when it is used in combination with methergine. Contraindications. Vaginal delivery is not feasible, like conditions like contracted pelvis, pelvic tumor, transverse lie, oblique lie, bra presentation, hydrocephalus. Overstretched uterus like twins, hydramnios, and grand multipara. The conditions where there is a risk of rupture of uterus because of the scar over the uterus, like previous lower segment cesarean section or upper segment myomectomy scars, or classical cesarean section. Fetal distress, the condition exacerbates with the use of oxytocin. Hence, with cord prolapse also it is not used. Use of oxytocin in induction of labor. Dilute 10 units of pitocin in 10 ml of distilled water. Use 2 ml with that 2 units of pitocin is obtained. It is added in 500 ml of normal saline or RL. Avoid dextrose use. When patient receives 15 drops per minute, the dose delivered is 4 milli international unit per minute. Titration must be done with the infusion pump. The pitocin drip can be of two types, low dose pitocin and high dose pitocin. In low dose pitocin, 2 milli international unit is given per minute and the drip is doubled up every 30 minutes. In high dose pitocin, 4 milli international unit and increase it by 4 milli international unit itself every 20 minutes. So that with this high dose pitocin, the less induction delivery interval is observed. The drip is continued till satisfactory uterine contractions are obtained, like 3 contractions of 45 seconds in 10 minutes. Maximum dose which is required may be 16 to 32 milli international unit per minute. Increase the concentration of pitocin rather than the drip rate to avoid fluid overload. The drip rate maximum can be 30 drops per minute. Oxytocin is more effective for induction of labor, for augmentation of labor rather than induction. It is more effective in near-term pregnancy when cervix is already ripened or when patient is already in labor. After artificial rupture of membranes or after PROM, near term, it is more effective. However, it is less effective in anencephaly where fetal adrenocorticosteroid hormones are absent, or it is also less effective in prematurity with intrauterine death and for ripening of cervix. It is not used for 6 hours after prostaglandin administration. Monitoring of pitocin drip is required, is very important because there is risk of fetal distress and hypertonic uterine contractions. For that reason, hourly maternal pulse and blood pressure is recorded, half-hourly fetal heart sound or continuous ETG monitoring may be preferred. Intensity and frequency of uterine contractions every 15 minutes, half-hourly in first stage and every 15 minutes in the second stage are documented. Partogram will help to diagnose the failed induction. Watch for complications like hypertonus where duration of contractions are more than 2 minutes. Tachysystole when More than 5 contractions are observed in 10 minutes. Hyperstimulation means both abnormal uterine contractions and abnormal CTG is observed in these cases. Treatment of this hyperstimulation is stop the Pitocin trap. Oxygen inhalation is given on the mask. Left lateral position is given. Use of subcutaneous injection terbutaline 250 microgram or spray of 400 microgram is the best choice. Or trinitroglycerine or IV injection salbutamol 100 microgram may be helpful. There is chance of fetal distress clinically, meconium saint like presence of caput molding if there is prolonged labor also. Abnormal CTG is one of the first sign of fetal distress or fetal hypoxia is reduced baseline variability less than 5 beats per minute, or fetal first there is fetal tachycardia, then there is fetal bradycardia. Less than 100 is bradycardia, more than 180 heart rate is tachycardia. Abnormal CTG means there will be evidence of early or late deceleration more than 15 beats lasting for more than 15 seconds. Single prolonged deceleration of more than 3 minutes or variable deceleration at least 3 in 20 minutes record indicates cord compression, variable decelerations, where intraamniotic infusion 1 to 2 liters of RL may be helpful. Otherwise, simple technique like left lateral position, oxygen mask, and rapid IV infusion of normal saline will help. But immediately stop the drip, that is the first aid. Abnormal CTG, early deceleration means the deceleration nadir coincides with the peak of uterine contraction. In late deceleration, the nadir of this deceleration is observed after the onset of uterine contraction. So this is the peak of uterine contraction and this is deceleration where the heartbeats are less than 15 beats per minute and the duration of this deceleration is more than 15 seconds. So this is one deceleration, this is the second deceleration which is seen after the onset of uterine contraction. Other risks with the oxytocin induction are failure of induction when no progress of labor for 12 hours after ARM means no dilatation of cervix more than 5 cm. It is observed in 25% of cases, usually in the lipara. The risk can be reduced to 5% with the use of prostaglandin 6 hours prior or by artificial rupture of membranes. Second problem is failure to progress, seen in 25% of cases. In both these conditions, LSCS is required. Active management of third stage of labor. It is the first drug of choice by recommendations of WHO and ACOG. The dose of oxytocin is 10 units intramuscular or IV infusion in 500 ml of saline or RL. Should be given within 1 minute after delivery. Delayed cord clamping is practiced in this case within 1 to 3 minutes. So the neonate gets advantage of extra 80 ml of blood. Modified controlled cord traction method after separation of placenta. This is the third component, and the fourth component of this active management of third stage of labor is assess the tone of uterus. No massage. Massage is done only for treatment of atonic PPH. But in active management of labor, no massage is the criteria. Uterine contraction may be encouraged with the help of crawling of the newborn on the mother's chest or keep the bladder empty. However, remember, early cord clamping is advised in babies with the birth asphyxia, preterm baby, IUGR1, Rh isoimmunization and congenital heart disease doubt in the newborn. In this active management of third stage of labor, brand induced technique is preferred to deliver the baby. That the modified technique is hold the fundus of the uterus with one hand, abdominal hand, and controlled contraction is given with the right hand. So one has to hold the uterus after it is well contracted and after separation of placenta. Thus, with controlled contraction, the placenta gets expelled out. Then push the fundus towards the headache. So initially I have to hold the uterus, give gentle contraction, controlled contraction, then push the uterus towards the headache. This is known as brand induced technique to deliver the placenta as a part of active management of third stage of labor. Oxytocin is also used for the atonic PPH. It is the first line of uterotonics advocated by WHO. The dose of oxytocin is 20 to 40 units in 500 ml of normal saline. Can be given intra-umbilical also after cutting the cord and separating the baby. 10 units in 10 ml is given. Second line of drug is misoprostol tablet, 800 microgram sublingual or 600 microgram rectal, or alternatively ergometrin and oxytocin combination can be used, or only lithargine can be used, and the dose of 0.2 milligram intramuscular can be repeated after 15 minutes. Other drug, new variety, is injection carbetocin, where 100 microgram IV is the dose. It is a synthetic oxytocin analog. It is more effective than oxytocin. Oxytocin challenge test, what it is. In these cases, the LSS facility should be ensured first. The test is conducted in a place where facility of LSS is there. Principle of the test is when there is impaired placental circulation with uterine contraction, there is further impairment of placental circulation and manifest in the form of abnormal CTG. In these cases, pitocin drips is started with 0.5 milli international unit or 1 milli international unit in RL or oxytocin, RL or normal saline. Increase the drip with 1 milli unit every 20 minutes till satisfactory uterine contractions, means 3 contractions lasting for 40 seconds in 10 minutes are recorded. Simultaneously, CTG recording is done. If CTG is normal, then the test is negative. If it is equivocal, means intermittent late deceleration or variable decelerations are seen, then it is equivocal. Positive oxytocin challenge test means there are late decelerations in 50% of uterine contractions. If the test is positive, there is risk of intrauterine death, meconium stain liquor, birth asphyxia. Remember, OCT or contraction stress test means CST. If CST is positive, positively CS, cesarean section is done. However, false positive rate is 30%. That is a disadvantage of this test. That's why it is not popular. Ejection of milk is effective with the oxytocin also. There are two reflexes which operate for the milk ejection. One is prolactin reflex, where prolactin is released from anterior pituitary. It has for establishment and maintenance of lactation. Both insulin and glucocorticoids are also helpful. With oxytocin, which is released from posterior pituitary, there is milk laid down reflex or milk ejection reflex. It is a neuroendocrine reflex It is sensitive to the emotional status of the lady. It is initiated by maximum by the hearing, grab the baby or thought of the baby or the presence of the baby around can initiate the reflex. Handling of the baby and suckling act is also effective to initiate this reflex. How it works? With the suckling reflex, the tactile impulses from nipple and areola are carried through thoracic T4, 5, 6 sensory nerve endings. The impulse is carried up to the hypothalamus, supraoptic nuclei. From there, the oxytocin is transported to the posterior pituitary, and oxytocin is released in the form of short periodic impulses. This oxytocin has got contractile effect on the alveoli. Thus, milk is expressed out into the ampulla of the lactiferous ductule, from where it gets ejected out with the contraction of the myoepithelial cells of the lactiferous ductule with the effect of oxytocin. This is how there is effective milk ejection through the nipple. Let us compare between the oxytocin and prostaglandins. Oxytocin is more effective after term pregnancy. Prostaglandins are effective at any gestation. Patient should not be ambulatory. Patient is not ambulatory with oxytocin drip naturally, and it is not effective when the Bishop score is less than 6. However, prostaglandins are effective for ripening of the cervix also and for induction of labor also. The uterine contractions which are induced are weak with oxytocin. They are strong uterine contraction with the prostaglandins. Hyperstimulation is dose related in oxytocin and reversible. However, hypertonicity responds with tocolysis only, and it is very common with the prostaglandin. Oxytocin is not effective in preterm IUD or anencephaly. However, prostaglandins are effective in both conditions. Thanks for watching.